Hello and welcome to the NFC North preview on the Drew and Stu podcast. I'm Drew Livingstone. That's Cam Stewart. Cam, right before we came on air, you said this division's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot of contenders in this division. Mm-hmm. You said all four of these teams can clearly win the Super Bowl, and I was like, whoa, Cam. I was like, calm down.
You're the best, Drew. Oh my God, I'm sweating like a pig. Remind me never to take a shower before we start doing this stuff because it takes me like 40 minutes to cool down.
What do you take, hot showers?
I go hot and then I end it cold. But I should run cold longer because the key is like if you only run cold for 5 or 10 seconds, hot still is the winner. I got to do hot and then run cold and like just deal with it for about 2 or 3 minutes because you see me, Drew. I'm always looking like I like stepped out of a desert. Like I got the sweats.
I don't know if I'm psycho or not, but like mine's like the hottest I'll go is like room temperature.
Are you serious? Oh, I want it so hot I can like barely take it.
No,
because I got back pain. I'm old. Remember, Drew, all those sticks to the back that I took.
My wife like boils pasta. Her shower's so hot.
Like me.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? You're burning your skin off. She's like, no, I love it. I'm like, what the hell?
I got some Barilli penne in the tub.
Yeah,
ready to go.
It's ridiculous. So when you walk in the washroom after her showers, it's like steam. Just like you can't see anything.
Oh, that's me. Totally. I don't know why I do it.
I want it to feel like you didn't. No one even knows you showered. It was so cold.
It should be like an ice rink. That's the way I want to sleep in an igloo. But Drew, I'll tell you, take a look at the wins totals of all the teams in this division. That is the best division for wins totals out of them all. Like there's no
the AFC East was up there. The AFC East was up there as well, but I think so as well. I know the most bet win total in the league is Chicago Bears over 7.5. It's even some spots have it at 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah. So it's 7.5 right now, minus 270. Which we'll get to Chicago. That's a ridiculous bet. But anyways, let's start at the top, Cam, with the Detroit Lions. Bringing most of their team back. They've actually improved their cornerback position. They got Carlton Davis. They drafted Terry Arnold. They drafted Rakestraw in round 2. They got Davenport, Zeitler. Cam, overall, they got J-Mo come back for a full season. Their offense is electric. Gibbs probably taking more snaps now on offense. It just all comes down to Goff. Crazy thing, Cam. How many, I don't know if you saw this from Warren Sharp, how many outdoor games do you think they play this year?
Not many. They play the Bears.
The answer is 3, Cam.
3. Yeah, 3.
3 total. And you know Jared Goff struggles outdoors. Like that's his big thing. Everyone's like, oh, it's outdoors.
Okay, we just started. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
No, I'm saying this is good for them. This is good for them.
No, but just listen to me. He's not as bad outdoors as everybody thinks. He has little hands, so sometimes he fumbles, like former Seattle quarterback Dave Craig. Very good, small hands. Goff, I'm going to tell you something, Drew. I don't know if I want to say it now. Actually, continue, and I'll tell you my crazy bet for the Detroit Lions.
Okay, well, I was just going to open up with their win total, Cam. The Detroit Lions right now are... where was it? What do I have?
10.5.
9. So there's 10.5 minus 130. There's also a 9.5 on the board as well. So we'll go with the 10.5.
What's the juice? What's the juice on
9.5 minus 210?
So let's do 10.5 plus money.
Yeah, 10.5 minus 130. So the total is 10.5. Cam, they sailed over that last year with all the indoor games with their schedule. The same team coming back. How does this team not go over 10.5 again?
I'm with you. I think Detroit wins the division. I really like what the Packers did. Love has another season under his belt, but I just look at Detroit and say, if Campbell just doesn't get in the way with bad decisions, let the other coaches do their thing. You motivate them.
Oh, you mean like going for it on 4th and 10 for a 2-point conversion?
Yes.
Or from the
like,
10-yard
line?
line?
Things that make absolute no mathematical sense. Dude, that's why you like hire a smart kid, with the chart. You stay there. You're a good football man. People respect you. You played the game. So that's that. You got a feather in your cap there. But Drew, I actually like Goff. I think he's proved a lot of people wrong. Like any quarterback, you give him time, he'll slice it up. If they protect him and they have a running game, you talked about Gibbs, you can run, and he's going to be lethal with those little dump-offs, buddy. Like, we're going to be hitting that so hard this year. I like the Lions for 12 wins. I know it's a popular pick, but you know what? We've been pretty crazy on these shows so far with some of the things we've said and some of the teams that we like. But to me, it's Detroit's division to lose. They have so much depth to quality players. I bet Jared Goff 25-1 MVP.
See, my thing with Jared Goff is no matter how well he does, he's going to get outshined by the skill position players with Gibbs and St. Brown.
Yeah,
so like for him to get MVP, what does he have to do? Throw 40 touchdowns at least?
Maybe, but I'm going to tell you one thing. He's not a joke. And for all the people that say Goff sucks, you're wrong. He's actually very, very...
He was leading at half in the NFC Championship game. They just blew it.
He's a good quarterback. I don't understand where these narratives come from. If you watch football like every snap that we do, Jared Goff is fine. There's a reason he was a first-round draft pick out of Cal. He's not Aaron Rodgers, but he's a damn good quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll say
he's fine. Like I'll say I'd put him in the Kirk Cousins to Tagovailoa range.
I think he's better than. I think he's slightly better than them in that tier. He's more. Know what? More durable. Tua throws more bad picks. Goff, on the other hand, once in a while, he'll have a meltdown. But I'm going to say Tua, like you saw. Oh, you talk about bad weather? How is Tua playing when it gets cold outside?
So
Everyone's
would you rather
ripping on Goff? I'd rather have Goff than Tua any day of the week.
Here's the guys then too. Would you rather Goff or Dak Prescott?
Goff.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you think Goff's a top 10 quarterback then?
Yes, I do. I think he's probably around. Dak Prescott, have you watched this guy in big games?
Yeah.
No offense, Jared Goff has. And remember that game that everyone was ripping on in Green Bay in the cold? He played well. His team let him down. Goff has actually been quite good in pressure situations. Was it his fault that Campbell made bad play calls and stuff? They were hanging with the Niners, Drew. They should have won the game.
They're winning.
They were winning. What did he do wrong? Nothing. He played a fine game. Jared Goff has this. I don't know who came up with it. I don't know how he became this guy that was hated. He was put in a bad situation when he was with the Rams, too. He got murdered back there. The Lions are a different team. If he can't get it done with the Lions, Drew, then I'll take a different stance. But I think this team wins 12 games. Give me the Lions over.
Brock Purdy or Jared Goff?
Goff.
Fair enough. All right. So you really like Goff, man. I don't like.
I'll name quarterback. Mahomes is better than Goff. Rodgers is better than Goff.
Okay.
Allen is better than Goff.
You like 42-year-old Rodgers better than current Jared Goff?
Well, the thing is, if he plays to his potential, I still think he has the skill set to do it. Like I'm thinking Goff is probably around the 7 to 8 best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. So you'd put him around like right below Herbert, but above the guys like Prescott.
Right around Herbert, actually. Herbert's another guy. He's got to start proving some stuff.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence or Goff?
I'd rather have Goff.
All right, we are not reading each other's mail on this.
What happened to our agreement? That ended after a couple episodes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Cam. So you think it's over 10.5? I think it's over 10.5. We'll go through their schedule now to see if it actually turns out to be 10.5. Okay. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. Week 1 at the Giants.
Win.
Week 2 at the Chiefs. That's a tough road game.
Loss, but I think they can win that game. Next.
Yeah, I mean they won in KC week 1 last year. Week 3, Steelers come to Detroit.
A win.
Oh wait, sorry, I'm reading the preseason schedule. What am I doing? Cam.
Oh my God! Just cut this. Don't edit this out either. You got to keep that. I've done that before too.
I know. It's straight. I apologize, everybody. So we'll go.
Look,
Detroit Lions. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
You have 2 children now. Do you not? You have actually 2 now.
Second one's on the way.
Sorry, on the way. So right now you're not getting a lot of sleep. So I'll leave it to that.
All right, week 1, L.A. Rams in Detroit. So Stafford back to Detroit. That's a good game.
Maxwell House. Yeah, I'll take Detroit. Win.
All right. Week 2, Tampa comes to town.
Win.
Week 3 at Arizona.
Win.
Week 4, Seattle and Detroit.
Win.
Week 5 bye week. Week 6 at Dallas.
Loss.
Off of bye. You think they're going to lose off the bye? All right.
With Campbell as their coach, I don't really think the bye matters. I got to give them a loss somewhere.
I like Campbell. I don't know why you don't like him.
No, I love him as a human being, like eating elbows and stuff. Like, yeah, sure, I want a guy that motivates me, but his in-game decision making is kind of something that needs to be questioned.
He's very emotional. That's why he does it off of vibes.
I'm an emotional guy too, but
I kind of respect it. I like the whole I'm angry. Go for 4th down.
The problem is though, guys who get emotional, I use the term with blackjack, play a system because emotional will work sometimes, but over time you'll get fucked by it. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Let's keep on going with the Lions.
All right, week 7 at Minnesota.
Win.
Week 8, Tennessee and Detroit.
Win.
Week 9 at Green Bay.
Loss.
Week 10 at Houston.
Win.
Okay. Week 11, Jacksonville in Detroit.
Win.
Week 12 at Indy.
Tough game, but win.
Week 13, Chicago and Detroit.
Win.
Week 14, Green Bay.
Loss. I think Green Bay actually. No, what? No. They'll split. Win. Okay. This is crazy. I got these guys winning like 14 games.
Week 15, Buffalo and Detroit.
Okay, they'll lose, but Bills will beat them.
Week 16 at Chicago.
Win.
That's tough. In December, Christmas game in the bad weather. Yeah,
I know.
Right. Week 17 at San Fran.
Loss.
Week 18, Minnesota in Detroit.
Win. I have them winning 13 games.
13 games.
Well, 13 games?
So you have them going 13-4, which isn't that bad. That's what they did last year, Cam. So they went 12-5 last year. But yeah, so you like them well over 10.5. So you're going to take that number, correct?
Yes, I am. I've already bet Detroit wins over at a better number, and the juice was not 210. But you better. Here's another thing, just for everyone listening to the show. We love everybody, and we appreciate your support. Drew, I was just down paying my money for the Open Championship pool. Yeah, Rory missing the cut. That was fun. Cost me a huge parlay. Anyway, let's digress. We're talking football, but a lot of people there enjoy the show, so I gave them the information, and hopefully we can keep you hit winners this year. But get the numbers now. If you like something, don't wait on these totals. People, like, college football is coming, NFL is coming. All these sharps are already eating up lines. Drew, there was a consortium. We'll talk about this a little bit later with the Carolina Panthers when we do our other division preview. But there's groups that have moved lines by one with juice and stuff because they're coming in hard on 4.5s and stuff like that. Now these lines are 5.5. So if you like something and you see a really good number, hit it now. Don't wait, because it's probably not going to get better unless you're praying for an injury to another team or whatever. And how can you predict that?
So Cam thinks the Detroit Lions are winning 13 games, going 13-4. Over 10.5 is -130, which is still a decent price.
Yep.
So we'll write that down. Over 10.5.
What do you like? You like the over too, right?
I like the over as well.
Okay.
I would even go like over 11.5 alt totals. I know you don't like alt totals, but I like alt totals.
That's fine. I'm not going to
keep you on the edge
you
of
about
seat.
that.
I think they might start the season 8-0, to be honest, with that schedule. I know you had them losing to Dallas off the bye, but I don't think they lose that game. All right, moving on.
It's hard to start 8-0 though. Like 7-1 is pretty. Like, imagine they go 7-1 through their first games. That's ridiculously good.
Yeah, right? It would be good. Okay, Green Bay Packers, Cam, 9-8 last year, made the playoffs. They've improved everywhere. They got McKinney. They added Josh Jacobs over Aaron Jones. They lost their left guard. That's okay. They drafted first overall or first rounder offensive tackle Jordan Morgan. They got new linebackers. They got a new safety. They got another backup running back in Marshawn Lloyd, who I really like, Cam, by the way.
Me too.
Better than A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon just slow and useless out there. All right, Cam. The Green Bay Packers win total is 8.5 or 9.5 -145 to the over. What are you feeling about this team? Everyone loves this team. I saw USA Today release their preseason predictions. They have Green Bay losing in the Super Bowl, and I was like, let's settle down here a little bit on the Green Bay. They're like the NFC's Houston Texans in my mind. Like, everyone's on Houston in the AFC, everyone's on Green Bay in the NFC. Do you believe the hype?
I do, but I really worry because a lot of the time, like, Love looks so good, and he went from like a quarterback that didn't really know it to feeling it.
I don't think he looked as good as everyone says, Cam.
Okay.
A lot of his passes were just chucked up into triple covers, and his guys came down with it, and you were like, whoa, what a crazy catch. And on the stat sheet, it's just a 40-yard pass.
The problem
is, watching it was a terrible decision to throw into triple coverage.
The problem is, I think teams took them lightly because he wasn't really a polished quarterback, and he got to do a lot of things. He showed up in primetime games too. Remember the good game against Kansas City? He did a lot of magical things. But here's the thing. Teams are not going to be screwing around with Green Bay anymore. They know how good they are. So I think that wins total is pretty fair. I probably think they win between like 9 and 10 games. I think it's a perfect number, to be honest with you.
I think Green Bay falls flat this season, Cam. Wins 7 games. Jordan Love takes a step back. I think the Green Bay Packers are not as good as people think.
Can you repeat what you just said? They're going to win 7 games, you said?
I think they go 7 and 10. That's my
wow.
I think Love takes a step back. Everyone's on the Love for MVP and all this stuff. If you actually go watch some of his throws and decision making, even his touchdowns, Cam, some of them were not great throws. It's like crazy catches by his receivers and like defenders making mistakes.
I know what I like about you though? It's either all or nothing with you. It's hot or cold. There's no like medium. Like you're there, like your showers, ice cold, or your woman's nice and hot past the shower.
You can't have every team in the division do well, right?
Well, that's why there's 2 other teams in the division that we could talk about.
Exactly. So I think Green Bay is going 7 and 10. I think they're going to finish 3rd in the division, and maybe 4th in the division, depending on how the Vikings go.
What?
Yeah.
Green Bay is not finishing 4th in that division.
I'm just saying maybe.
No, not true. I got another one crazy. Tune into the show for whatever, but it's in another division. But I would not talk Green. Okay, we both agree Detroit wins the division.
Yes.
I would think Green Bay would come 2nd in that division. Would you not?
I disagree.
Okay, then let's keep talking.
We'll move on. Okay, so let's get into the Green Bay Packers schedule. Cam, we'll start here. Not in the preseason. We will start week 1 of the regular season at Philadelphia.
That could be a loss.
Okay, week 2, Indy in Green Bay.
I think they'll beat the Colts.
Okay, week 3 at Tennessee.
Ooh, tough game. We like Tennessee this year, but I'll go Green Bay win there too.
Okay, week 4, Minnesota in Green Bay.
Win.
Week 5 at LA.
Loss.
Week 6, Arizona in Green Bay.
Win.
Week 7, Houston Texans in Green Bay.
Win.
Ooh, week 8 at Jacksonville.
Win.
Week 9, Detroit in Green Bay.
Loss.
You gave Green Bay the win on the Detroit prediction.
Oh, yeah. No, I said whatever it is, just split them up with me. I think Green Bay and Detroit, they split their series.
Okay, so we'll give them the win here.
That.
Okay, week 11 at Chicago.
Loss.
Okay, week 12, San Fran in Green Bay.
Loss.
Week 13, Miami in Green Bay.
That could be a loss too.
Okay, Week 14 at Detroit. This is the one you had them losing, so we'll move on from there. Week 15 at Seattle.
Win.
Week 16, New Orleans in Green Bay.
Win.
Week 17 at Minnesota.
Win.
Week 18 to end the season, Chicago in Green Bay.
Win.
So you have them winning 11 games, Cam. So 11-6.
I don't really think they're going to win. I think they're going to win 9 or 10. So I screwed up a little bit. But
well, no,
this is a hard game to play.
It shows you that you like the over. So when you give them 11 wins, you like the over 9.5. It just shows that
I do.
You're leaning over. So over 9.5. Cam has them winning 11 games.
I'm kind of like you're getting me thinking with your little regression statement, because they are things like teams like get hyped up, like, you know, like we talked about Houston, Atlanta's a hot team, Green Bay, all these other teams, like all those teams that get hyped up, usually one of them does okay, but the rest of them falter.
I just think Detroit's going to clearly win this division. I think they're just better in every facet, Cam. And I just think Jordan Love, I know it's not his sophomore season, but it kind of is. I think he takes a step back after signing his big contract. I disagree with you getting them 11 wins. I probably would have had them lose 4 or 5 more games there.
I screwed that up. I think they win 10.
Yeah, fair enough. It doesn't matter, Cam. We both think they're – so you think they're a bubble playoff team? Would you pick right now? Are the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs? Would you say yes or no?
Yes, I would take Green Bay in the playoffs, yes.
Okay, moving on. Chicago Bears, Cam. Your favorite team in the NFC, maybe, besides the Seahawks?
I like the Bears, but what I'm going to say is going to be
have you been to Soldier Field?
No, but I've been to the Blackhawks, where the Blackhawks play like 5 times, but I've never been to Soldier Field. It's actually one of the places I haven't been. How many stadiums have you gone to, Drew? I think I've been to about 6, 7.
I've only been to 4.
Okay.
I've only been to 4. So
the old Kingdom.
I don't like that they're upgrading their stadium in Chicago, because I like the historic Soldier Field, like with the pillars and like it's like the Roman Colosseum.
But the thing is, some of the building gets old. I know. I like to keep the same nostalgia, but they just got to fix up some things.
But they won't. They're going to build a new lakefront.
Well, that's beautiful.
Building, so whatever. Yeah,
stadium
whatever.
by the lake.
I'm just not a big modern stadium guy. I like the old school.
I like old stadiums too. Like, I will say this though, in baseball, when I went to Wrigley, I was not impressed at all. Like, the place was like, I was in a bad spot. Like, I was like, ooh, the nostalgia, the history. I'm like, the place is just a dump.
I went to both the Cubs game and a White Sox game. White Sox Stadium way better. Just
I know.
Area of town.
And the fans are more like insane.
Yep.
Like the White Sox, the Southsiders are gangsters. Like up north, it's like, hello, honey. Like, no, anyway, Wrigley to me was probably the most overrated place I've ever been to. People are going to go, I can just here come the comments. But go there and tell me what you think. That beer too old style, tastes like piss, and their hot dogs are horrible. It actually shocked me how bad their stadium food was. But let's talk about the Bears.
All right, the Bears win total is 8.5 on the season. Last year they were 7-10. They had the 9th overall pick. They also had the 1st overall pick as Carolina, where they upgraded their quarterback to Caleb Williams. Is he as good as everyone says he is? Probably not. But they upgraded the weapons cam. They added Keenan Allen. They added rookie Roma Dunze. They added DeAndre Swift instead of Deontay Foreman. They added Byard at safety. They added Gerald Everett. They added a new center in Shelton. They added Amagadaji, I think is how you say his name, rookie, 3rd rounder, and Ryan Bates as their center from Buffalo. Cam, overall, they've improved this roster tremendously.
Big time.
It's whether or not you believe in Caleb Williams. I think the 8.5 is too low. I know it's the most bet win total in the league right now because everyone else sees them on paper. What do you think of this overall roster?
I'm going to be honest with you. I have a different opinion of Caleb Williams than most. I think he's going to actually have a really rough season.
Even with even with that offense, Cam, I feel like you could be like a terrible guy and still be okay with that offense.
I saw things at USC that I didn't like, and I know he was the popular play, and he had some great games, but he also had some really rough games. People don't remember too. He had a lot of injuries, and he played hurt. And in the NFL, man, like you get hit like that, I worry about his health. I'm just telling you, I watch a lot of college football, Drew, and I understand he's a pretty big guy, but some of the injuries that he had, like playing a Pac-12 schedule too, and like the Pac-12 is not even like the Big Ten. Like, it's not. It's one of those. It's not as tough, and he got beat up. I'm just saying this. I really like the Bears. The players on paper, they look like a 9 or a 10 win team, but I'm actually going to take the under. I think they're going to win like 7 or 8 games, and I hate saying that because I like to cheer for this team. But I'm going to tell you, I think Williams. I think we're going to see some Bajent come into some games this year. That's my prediction.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think he gets hurt?
I don't want to predict injuries. We did with Aaron Rodgers last year. I feel like a jerk about that, but we were right. And I'm thinking Williams does not play every game this year.
So I said it on our pre-draft show.
I think he misses a lot football.
I said on our pre-draft show I did not like Odunze coming out. I think he was being highly touted as a good receiver, and I didn't think he was. I thought he should have been like a 3rd, 4th round pick. I just thought his route tree wasn't as wide as everyone else's, and like, yeah, he's okay, but like he didn't really show up in big games. I don't get the whole like this guy's a stud NFL wide receiver one. Like I don't like Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm like, yeah, these guys are studs. They're going to be great. Rome Odunze, I was never like, oh, I can't wait to watch this guy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. And the problem with the Bears is there's question marks too. They're great names, but Keenan Allen, when does he ever get through a season? Now he's playing in the cold.
Hey, so he was a top 5 receiver in fantasy till like week 13 last year.
Yeah, but I know, but it's
hurt.
just another year under your belt. You're not playing in lovely Los Angeles too. This is like Chicago, long grass. Like it's just a lot of things.
And DeAndre Swift, Cam, if you see the pictures of him in Philadelphia last year, he was running through like 10-yard holes, like where like they would show the overhead angle, and there's like no one in front of him. Like, yeah, that's not the offensive line in Chicago. Like you're gonna actually have to beat through some like you just get hurt going through these stats.
The Bears are an interesting team. I think they could probably win 10 games or win 7 games, 6 games. Like you know what I mean? That's what I think about them. And if I have Green Bay and Detroit, I can't have everybody in the division winning. So I think they win 8 games. They win 8 football games.
I disagree. I think they're going to win 9 or 10. I think it'll be right around that number. And I think they'll be ahead of Green Bay at the end of the season just because I think you could have very mediocre quarterback play with this offense. We
need some side bets then. We'll do when we do all the divisions, we'll come up with a show. We don't have to do a show or whatever. We'll do side bet city, like things because we've agreed on a lot, like crazy stuff, like Tennessee we agreed on, but we're gonna have a couple differences, I think, in the NFC, and we'll get some side bets going. Still waiting you to pay me on beers and wings. I don't know when that's coming, maybe next year, but I know you got a kid coming on the way, so I can't really bust your balls.
No, it'll happen. Maybe week 1 we meet up or something.
Any more meat deliveries for me, or is that ship sailed?
Yeah, we'll see. All right. So Cam, week 1, the Chicago Bears, Tennessee Titans come to Chicago.
I'll give Chicago a win there.
Interesting. Week 2 at Houston.
Loss.
Week 3 at Indy.
Loss.
Week 4, LA Rams in Chicago.
Win.
Week 5, Carolina in Chicago.
Win.
Week 6, Jacksonville's in Chicago. 3 straight home games.
Win for the Bears.
Okay, week 7's their bye. Week 8 at Washington.
I'm going to say upset loss.
Ooh, week 9 at Arizona.
Loss.
Ooh, week 10, New England in Chicago.
Win.
Week 11, Green Bay in Chicago.
Loss.
Week 12, Minnesota comes to Chicago.
Win.
Week 13, at Detroit.
Loss.
Week 14, at San Fran.
Loss.
Week 15, at Minnesota.
Loss.
Week 16, Detroit in Chicago.
I'll give them 1.
Okay. Week 17, Seattle's in Chicago.
They'll beat the Seahawks. I have the Seahawks basically winning 1 game since we started this test.
And week 18 at Green Bay.
Loss. I got them winning 8 games.
You got them winning 8 games right under the total. And Cam, some of those losses you gave them, I was like,
you're right. And I did like Washington and stuff. So now I'm starting to think, okay, Drew, then
their schedule is very easy to start.
That's the thing. Like, so basically you're saying Green Bay, the regression obviously is going to help the Bears. So that's the whole thing about the division. The question marks to me, like Detroit's here. I don't know what the other 3 teams are going to do. Like this division is a mystery to me. I know a lot of people actually like Minnesota. A lot of people love Chicago. And a lot of people love Green Bay. All of them can't succeed.
This is the thing I think was going to happen for fantasy players out there. They go week 5. They go Carolina, Jacksonville, Washington, Arizona, New England, 5 straight games. That is a very easy schedule. I think after those 5 games come week 10, you're like, trade all these Chicago Bears players. Because then that's when the gauntlet comes with Green Bay, Detroit, San Fran. Detroit twice, San Fran, Seattle, and the end of the season in Green Bay again. So I think that 5-game stretch, they could go 5-0 in that span, Cameron. If that happens, you going under on the win total is just dangerous.
No, if they go 5-0 in that stretch, I'm banking on them at least losing a game there. I don't care like how it looks on paper. That's tough to do in the National Football League. But hey, you know what, Drew? Like as I said, like this is the division other than Detroit I'm the least confident in. I have opinions, but I'm not going to be like we're throwing down money on some things. This division I'm very cautious.
Oh yeah, I will not be betting this Chicago Bears win total. The only one from this division I will be betting, I'll be honest, is the next team coming up, which I will talk about. So we both I like the Chicago over. You like the Chicago under. You had them winning 8 games.
Yeah.
I think looking at that schedule, they probably win 10 just because it looks pretty easy to me. It's nice to have last place schedules. I'll say that.
It's true.
All right, moving on. Your Minnesota Vikings, not your Minnesota Vikings. I don't think you do like JJ McCarthy.
Chicago Bear.
You do like JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, everyone. Another thing about people like the guy won games at Michigan. Like, cut him some slack.
People are just like, oh, he's not dynamic. He's weak arm, noodle arm. Mac Jones 2.0 can't move.
No, he does not have a weak arm. Mac Jones is a weak arm. Yes. Pay attention. He does not have a weak
these
arm.
are the labels that came with JJ McCarthy.
These are bad labels. Like, where do people get these labels? They're fucking stupid labels. I watched the guy play in a tough conference and play tough games against Penn State.
I mean, it was a run-first offense.
Fuck, he beat Alabama, for Christ's sake. And he play, like, come on, man. Like, whatever. Anyway, I just get mad with these takes.
I just think, are you on board with sitting a rookie and starting Sam Darnold, or are you on board with just throw JJ McCarthy?
No, I'm on board with setting McCarthy out there, and if he has problems, then you can put Darnold in. Like, okay? But a lot of people would say the opposite. Like, start Darnold. If he struggles, put in McCarthy.
I just don't think there's an upside to starting Darnold. Because, like, if you start Darnold and he starts winning games, then what? You just let JJ sit for the whole year? And you got your rookie that you drafted in the first round just get no experience? It's just...
The Vikings are the most interesting team going because they actually have great players on their team.
Yeah. So their win total is 6.5, Cam. Spoiler, I said it earlier, this is the only one I will be betting. I like the over 6.5. So I think their roster, besides the quarterback position, is actually pretty good for this division, Cam.
You know what, Drew? You're right. And again, like, if Chicago cannibalizes Green Bay and Minnesota's better than we think, so maybe Green Bay is the problem.
That's what I mean. I think Chicago, Green Bay, and Minnesota have all like 9-8 wins in them. Like they're all going to be right around that same thing.
If you could find 6.5 with Minnesota, I'm on my sites and I see a 7 flat, I see a 6.5 with major juice, and I see a 7.5 plus money.
No, Minnesota's 6.5 is minus 150 right now. I'm looking.
What? Yeah. Okay. Well, after the show, we need to have a conversation because I will bet them.
It's on Bet365. You got an account.
Oh, okay. I thought they were 7.5 there. Okay.
No, 6.5.
Okay.
The 7.5 is plus money. They have a 7.5 as well, but that's not the main line.
I'll lay 50 cents on. You know what? Sometimes people are like, oh, juice and all that, but you have to agree, Drew. In a team like this with question marks, I will lay 50 cents. We lay 50 cents in a hockey game, a baseball game, anything else. It's a whole season bet.
I'm taking the plus 180 on over 7.5. I think
you should do 6.5 lay juice and 7.5. Say they land on 7, you push.
So Cam, they added 2 edge rushers in Van Ginkel and Dallas Turner in the first round.
Great picks.
Oh, they also added Greenard. Sam Darnold is better upgrade than Joshua Dobbs at backup. They added Shaquille Griffin at corner. Sherfield instead of Osborne as the third receiver. Whatever, that's a wash. They added Blake Cashman as linebacker, and they added Aaron Jones. Finally, they have a serviceable running back because Alexander Madison and Cam Akers, all these guys sucked last year. Aaron Jones, Cam, actually a serviceable back if he can stay on the field. Mm-hmm. Besides JJ McCarthy, you got Jordan Addison, you got JJ, you got Aaron Jones, you got a quarterback rookie. If he can do any serviceable, you got Hawkinson coming off the knee tear.
I love it.
Cam, I think they're way better than a 6.5 win team they have a good coach. I like O'Connell, don't you?
So great call, Drew. And like we've been fair to people. I think O'Connell's actually one of the better coaches. And like Mike McDaniel, Miami's coach thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. No offense, O'Connell, you're way better than McDaniel. Like that guy, you're so much smarter than him. And look at all the things he's had to deal with too.
That's what I mean.
So many heartbreaking losses, so many injuries to key players. The thing about Minnesota, you know what, Drew? At 6.5, that's fucking nuts. Like I got to take them to win at least.
Cam, they won 7 games last year.
Yes.
They won 7 games last year with Josh Dobbs. Like who else their quarterback last year? It was like 5 different guys started games with them. They're all trash.
Yeah, actually, they really went low. They're like on 4 stringers and stuff like that. It got stupid. Remember that kid who was like a receiver at BYU? Was it Hall or whatever?
And they also didn't have JJ. Yeah. They also didn't have their number 1 receiver, and they still won 7 games without a quarterback receiver.
Here's the thing about McCarthy. For all the people like half glass full, half empty, I'm just going to give you the glass half full. On a 3rd and 2, when you have Jones, McCarthy is a better athlete than people think. He runs for first downs. You see he's a desperate player. And you know what? An intangible, Drew, that hockey mentality that he has, he's a tough motherfucker. Like he's going to take a hit and keep on coming back for more. Sure, he's not polished. But I'm going to tell you, I think McCarthy, for all the people that knocked him, you obviously didn't watch Michigan Wolverine football. He is not a perfect thrower of the ball. He will learn. But the thing is, all of his intangibles are plus. Toughness, speed, all the other things. Reading, getting a first down, like on a 3rd and 3, running forward, just, finding the marker. He does all the little things that you want from a young quarterback that I think, and eventually, I think hey, man, remember he threw that ball in that hotel room, that video on Twitter?
Oh,
no, this guy's like, he can't throw. Okay. But anyway, I'm with you. We both agree on Minnesota over 6.5.
Okay, so my thing with Minnesota is I think McCarthy starts after the bye week just because their schedule the first 5 weeks is pretty tough. So we'll start here. Cam, week 1 at the Giants.
Win.
All right, week 2, San Fran in Minnesota.
Loss.
Yeah, I think they get smoked in that one. Week 3, Houston in Minnesota.
They can win that game, but I'm going to say loss.
Yeah, I agree with you. Week 4 at Green Bay.
They'll lose that game.
Yeah, see, this is a tough schedule. And week 5, the Jets come to town.
You know what? I'm going to say win.
Ooh, really? Okay. And
Yeah.
then week 6 bye week. Week 7 is my prediction after that Jets game that McCarthy comes out to start. In week 7, they host the Detroit Lions after a bye.
That's a loss.
Week 8 at the Rams.
Schedules doesn't sound so damn good right
That's
now.
what I'm saying. It gets easier, though. This is a tough first half of the season.
At Rams?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say loss.
Week 9, Indy comes to Minnesota.
They can win that game at home.
Week 10, at Jacksonville.
Win.
Week 11, at Tennessee.
They're going to say loss there.
Week 12, at Chicago.
Loss.
Week 13, Arizona comes to Minnesota.
Win.
Week 14, Atlanta comes to Minnesota.
Loss.
Week 15, Chicago comes to Minnesota.
Win.
Week 16, at Seattle.
Loss.
Ooh, give Seattle a win for once. Week 17, Green Bay in Minnesota.
Win.
Week 18, at Detroit.
Shit, I got the winning 7 games exactly. Loss.
All right.
You know what? But I also had a problem with some of those other games. Here's the deal. I think they win between 7 and 9. 9 is their upside. 7 is their low side. If I get the 6.5, I'll lay the juice. That is
yeah. I like some of the games we gave them losses for. Like we gave Green Bay the sweep. Like they could easily win one of those games.
I agree.
They could take one of the games against Detroit if something happens.
I agree.
And like even like we gave them the loss to Tennessee, they could win that game. There's a lot of games we gave them losses that they could win. That's why I think they have the potential with this roster to be a 10-11 win team. And
that's a bit of a stretch, Drew.
No, I'm saying the downside's like 5.5. But I'm saying that their upside is way higher than their floor. I think that's why
I think their worst case scenario
is like 5.
6 wins.
Yeah,
I think 6, and their total is 6.5. So I gotta believe they can win 7 or 8 games.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they have a tough schedule to start, but yeah, I agree with you. I think their worst case scenario is 5-6 wins, and even then, like.
So we agree on everything except, and Green Bay, you're starting to like change my opinion about the Packers now, because if we give Chicago a few, we give Minnesota a few, like the.
Cam, I don't know.
The Packers are like, it's
everyone loves them, which is Cam. Whenever everyone loves a team,
I know, Drew. Drew, I've been doing shows with you for years. When I tell you I'm betting Carolina because 90% of the like whatever, and maybe they'll lose, but they might cover that spread. It's about that type of stuff, and it's a very dangerous game. Like you're playing when a team is this highly touted. It's very dangerous.
Yes, so we both agree. So would you lay the juice on the over 5.5? It's minus 240. That's too much juice, right?
Yeah, no. Know what? We have to talk about this, actually. This is very important. I think those are the great parlay pieces. We go, because we want some safety, right? So you turn the 240, we'll do another couple alternate win totals, and we'll do we could be safe and get 2 of those to plus money. Hell, we can do a 3-banger, a 4 or 5 or a 6, and turn it to crazy plus money, Drew. We have to put some fun things together. Unfortunately, right now, know what we should do, like a special show.
Our season preview show, we'll do that stuff. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, so we both agree. Well, the only thing we disagreed on was Green Bay. We both agreed Chicago would be over. Oh no, you had Chicago going under.
Under by 1 though.
We have Minnesota going over. We have Detroit going over. I have Green Bay under. Cam has Green Bay over. I have Chicago over. Cam has Chicago under.
And we both have Detroit over.
Yes, this division is going to be tough. That's all we know. The NFC North, probably the best division in the NFC. Cam.
Yes, I think the worst team is probably winning 7 games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what division you would even compete with them for the best division. Maybe there's NFC West. If
not the East, not the AFC East, because there's New England there. If it was Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets,
I'm saying NFC in the NFC divisions.
The NFC East is a joke.
Yeah,
the NFC North is amazing. The South reeks.
The West is like the West,
and the West is middling. You got San Francisco and a bunch of other teams.
No, the Rams are good.
They're all right.
All right. Well, we'll wait till we get to the West show. Then you're gonna love what I have to say about the Rams. All right, Cam. That doesn't.
The Rams going to the Super Bowl?
I think they might win 15 games, Cam. I'm serious. All right. That doesn't. We'll say
no. We're done.
Yeah,
cut his mic. If the Rams win 15
if
games,
they win
15 games, no, we'll talk. I'll be your butler. Like I'll look after your children. Like I'll be like Mr. Belvedere. You ever watch that show?
No, I'm not 77.
Oh my God, you're so. I forget like the age difference. Anyway, Mr. Belvedere was a butler, and he was a butler for Bob Uecker. Remember Bob Uecker? You know,
no, he invented the card game.
You don't know Bob Uecker? You don't know anything. Bob Uecker. He's the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers. He was like on sitcoms and stuff. No. He does Miller Lite commercials. Tastes great, less filling.
No idea.
Oh, that's what I love about our show, Drew. We have young and old, the old people. Guys, get on the comment section and tell this guy to like read something from
Cam. I don't even know how to play euchre. I don't know who Bob Uecker is. Okay, it's like.
Do you know how to play euchre?
No, I don't know how to play euchre.
Wow. Okay, that's just
fair enough. All right, that does it for NFC North preview. Thank you so much for watching. Please click like, please click subscribe, please rate and review on all audio platforms. Leave a comment on what you think the stand is going to turn out as. Do you believe in the Bears? Do you believe in the Packers? Tell me why I'm wrong about the Packers. Tell Cam why he's wrong about everything else.
Everything.
Yeah. All right. We will see you next week for our NFC South preview.
This has been Drew and Stu. Follow Drew at Producer Drew and Cam at Cam Stewart Live. May the winners be yours and all of the best bets hit.